Distractions can absolutely be fatal. See why. Coming right up. Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. Thanks for being part of the conversation. Distractions can be fatal. Fatal to your business, fatal to your health, your relationships. Here's something to consider. What do you do to keep your focus, to be aware of distractions, how to navigate through dangerous environments, how to lead your team through the dangerous environments that your business operates in, right? To guide them to not make fatal mistakes business wise, metaphorically speaking here. I want to share something with you. One of the broadcasts done recently was from one of my favorite places in Santa Monica Mountains, and just wanted to share. Let's get this going here. Wanted to share what that environment was like, and because it's an area where it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, and if you do not pay attention, this is a road in Santa Monica Mountains that will absolutely be a fatal experience. So check this out. Here's a couple of videos that were shot after the broadcast. Now this is a brief video. You can see a car here. It gives some perspective. Here's a car. Now, this road has four, how many? Four 270-degree turns winding down through the mountains into this canyon below. And here you can see, if you want to do this, if you see my cursor there, this this twisty mess down here is part of the same road that this white car right here is on. So check this out. It's a windy day. It was beautiful. The breeze kept it from being hot because it was a nice sunny day. And there's the same car going up farther. You can see part of the road that it was on earlier. And, as the wind's blowing away there, it's something, that I like about being in this area is it really brings to mind, helps hone paying attention when doing a lot of things in an area that can be very, very disastrous if you get distracted and make a wrong move. Because imagine hitting missing one of those turns, and show you a picture to give some perspective on what happens. Is really, in some places, there's no guardrail. In areas where there are guardrails, all you've got is 18 inches of 18-inch high steel guardrail, which will not be too kind to the human body should you end up brushing up against it by accident. And I love motorcycle riding up there because, we had a wet winter, so you can smell the green still. We're in the middle of our normally our dry season, fire season. So a lot of times that area is pretty brown because it's all dried out. We're at getting, about the middle of our fire season, runs into November, early December, and before we get into our rainy season. But the point here is being in that environment on a motorcycle reminds me a lot of being in a leadership role from a business standpoint. Here's why. On a motorcycle, it's very active, right? Because you've got, let me get both hands here. So you've got clutch with this hand, front brake with this hand. Both feet are working brakes in gear shifter, right? So clutch, shift, you got hand, foot going, and your head better be on a pivot because you're looking around, watching what's going on. Watching the road in front of you. Is there gravel? Did the last car that drove through here brush up against the side of the road or get the tire off the road a little bit and throw some gravel out into the lane? You got to watch out for those kinds of things. And this hand, you also got throttle going. So you got clutch, brake, both hands, both feet doing things while you're looking around and paying attention to the environment around you, and at the same time enjoying the view, which is really good as we get more mature, should we say? All right, let me be honest, older, because that fires the brain. You're doing a lot of things at the same time. It's a lot like business leadership, though, isn't it? When you're running your business, you have got all hands, feet, brain. You're doing 5 things. You got a lot of things going. You got finances, you're doing financial controls, you're doing customer relationship, you're keeping an eye on operations, you got a team that you're managing as your company grows. So now you're doing things through managers. So you're managing the managers, and that's a lot of activity going on in one day, plus family, social, recreational. You got all this stuff going on, and without losing focus on the business. Because if you get distracted in a wrong area for too long, right, that can become a problem in the business. See, now This particular road, I'm pulling up another photo to share here. On this particular road, just like in business, if you get distracted, it's not going to be a happy day because there's some room for error, just not much. For example, on this particular road, see, this is where we did the broadcast from. There's Sheila hanging out. Hey, Sheila. Um, our motorcycle, Sheila. Explain the name at another time. This road right here is the first 270-degree turn you come to, and this beautiful lookout area is set up. Um, and I love to stop there, write, film, broadcast, do a lot of things there. And this sign's showing you what happens if you miss the turn. Look at this. There, there's nowhere to go, right? If you come around that turn or if someone's in the across the yellow line, you've got nowhere to go because you've got Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. We got bounced off the internet on this end, and but the show went on. Now, here's what I wanted to show you to get some perspective. Miss a turn on this particular road. I need to reset the screen here for you. Make sure we get some sound. So you miss a turn on this road, and this is the canyon that you're going into. Now, this particular clip will shows a helicopter. It's actually a sheriff's department helicopter flying into. We're looking down on Malibu Canyon, and this is Malibu Canyon Road. If you can see here in the lower left, with the cursor highlighting it a little bit right there, and that's quite a distance to be going. So you don't want to miss that corner. Get tangled up in that guardrail and test how far it is that you fall before stopping. Stop this. That was just a sideways view. And I'll come back to that view in just a second. But again, the analogy for business is you need to pay attention. You need to pay attention and have focus while letting many things continue to happen around you, and make sure that you know where the guardrails are, where the road is, where the turn is. Is there any debris in the road? Can you get where operations? Are operations tuned and running well? Do you have a good flow of value through your organization, from what the customer wants all the way back to suppliers you need to buy stuff from in order to be able to deliver to your customer? And even if you're doing SaaS products or SaaS services, you still have suppliers that you rely on to run your business. And it could be that you don't have enough server bandwidth in order to get something done and delivered to a customer. Many things can happen. Just like in manufacturing, if you can't get a roll of steel on the ground in the yard in order to start cutting parts at the beginning of a shift, you got a problem. Same thing happens in software and professional services. So think about that. What are the things that you need to watch out for? How can you lead your team and develop them to be able to focus on the flow of value, having all those things, having hands, feet, and head going all at the same time, and still getting the mission achieved while enjoying the journey, the engagement, right? Riding through the mountains and canyons in the Santa Monica Mountains around here is nice because it's a half day loop for me. I love doing it to get connected. It's just beautiful. It's stunningly beautiful. Gives some perspective. You can see how big some of the distances are. Gives some perspective on where I fit in the universe. Like somebody said, it makes you feel small when you're on, a motorcycle that's 6 feet long in a canyon that's 3,000 feet deep or 2,000 feet deep. It gives some perspective. And plus, I mean, think about that. Wouldn't you enjoy spending an hour, having a meeting? Because a couple picnic tables here, having a meeting with someone, or just taking some time to write. I was doing business planning. Was there this time? I just decided, even though I came with a computer and a notebook and I was going to do some work, it was such a beautiful day. I just said, you know what? Today I need to just be here, connect with the world around me, and enjoy the moments of being in this space. And just that I had that kid-like wonder about, man, look, it's just so beautiful. The rock formations, there's so much to see. Camera can't catch it. And then this is the view from, you see the motorcycle go by there? That's the view from, this is Malibu Canyon Road. It's a different section. But that last clip, the view from the scenic outlook, and just being able to be in that, to do some work in that, to do some deep thought and some writing. There's a lot going on there. So this was a longer than planned let's watch because of the technical problems we had today. Thanks for sticking with us. And I want to see in the comments. So did you get out into stuff like this? And here's Malibu Canyon Road. So where the road that the helicopter was flying over, this video was taken from that road. So this is down the bottom of the canyon heading towards the Pacific Ocean. And there's that wind coming up the canyon, which just made it a nice drive. But again, you can see, you goof up. And this has got a stronger guardrail. So it's a little bit more, it's a substantial highway, but still you have to pay attention because you don't really want to test how strong that guardrail is, right? So it's keeping things on track, keeping your team on track, in developing, again, helping them develop the skill of navigating through complex environment and enjoying the journey. Employee engagement, hugely important. Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf, and I will truly see you on the trail. Enjoy your coming weekend.